gender issues and women's issues actually are cultural based, and that in order to get sustainable solutions, they need to be homegrown. And I know that when I was a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Development, 2012 to 2013, we began, along with members of parliament and many other women's groups, to say, if you're going to talk about genital mutilation, then you need to sort of think of that given society, and then you start talking to the young men. Because culture would make it such that if the girls did not go through this ritual, then they were not quote unquote marriageable. And as we talk about gender-based violence, we have to also recognize that in our engagement, there have been those that understood that if you were going to empower women and girls, then it means that you are silencing the boys and the men. And in a cultural context where you would then begin to see that men feel threatened, and then the young girls and women who come in more on their rights than on their responsibility, then you find that in fact you fuel more of the violence than you want to reduce it. So I would say, by going by what for me has actually brought me this far, because ever since 1995, in one way or the other, I'm always bringing us back to this conversation. It is to remember that culture is dynamic. It has values. It has some practices that would be seen to be retrogressive, but it does have some practices that are very useful in terms of how it creates coexistence. And I believe that we have, in some ways, even as government, taken wholesale sometimes what is defined at the global level. And this is not, from my understanding, what Beijing was supposed to do. There was the common platform, starting from women and poverty, women in the media, women in the environment, but it was necessary to recognize that what we were dealing with is ensuring there would be no discrimination to either men or women, but particularly to supporting the women, and then to create an atmosphere that would enable us to get this done. So I would advise governments that it is good we have the policies, we have the frameworks, but when we engage with the community like we do, we need to get their ideas. Because I think sometimes we go and we think that our grandmothers, our grandfathers, those elders, we think they don't have anything to offer. But in my experience, as I told you, even right from my grandmother, and I might say even my mother-in-law, and even my father, I really believe that if we were to take the idea of appreciating what it is that is in the community and then using this to do the implementation, we would go a bit further than we are right now.